Welcome back to the O Show. Bitcoin officially broke all-time high. It's exciting. It is very, very, very exciting. We're here. We're going to talk about it. Standard Charter is like bullish beyond belief. They're calling for 500,000 Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and get into it and talk about it. The Genius Act is also, we've got some more information about that. So we're going to discuss that because I know everybody's super excited. We've got some altcoin news. But first, let's go ahead and actually kind of talk about Bitcoin because we broke all-time high. Before the month was even over, we broke all-time high. And I think it's exciting, and I think it's important to note. It's very, very, very exciting. Yes, could it be a double top? Is there going to be a correction? Well, anytime Bitcoin generally hits important support or resistance, there's always a rejection. That's just kind of how it works, okay? Kind of how it works. And we're here. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. So first and foremost, altcoin market is moving. Things are looking nice. We've got WIF, FET, PI. Very, very minimal gains across the board. On the weekly, not looking too great at all. But when we take a look at Bitcoin, we got that swing wick high to about 109,000. Actually, the high today, according to the Bitfinex chart, is $109,770. When we go ahead and take a look at coin market cap, if you go on this side part over here, it'll say the all-time high, May 21st, 2025, $109,497. Yes, I just wanted to make sure that was correct. Sorry. Okay, so that's what we're seeing. And again, on different charts, you're going to see different data, and that's just because different spreads and all kinds of stuff. So we tapped on resistance again, and now we're only trading about $107,000. The reason why I named this the range of hell is because if we don't automatically shoot up above and flip 109,000 and then hit 110 and then keep consolidating going up, everybody's just going to be an absolute hot mess. And that's kind of what we're seeing now. However, we've held support at $102,000. Within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 2 weeks, we were able to hit all-time high. We haven't been able to break it yet. For me, the most important area is going to be at about flipping this, about $110,000 and then going up a little bit higher. And again, on May 22nd, and May 28th, we should be getting some announcements. So where are those announcements coming from? Apparently, Trump is supposed to have his dinner, I believe, for his top Trump holders, I believe tomorrow, May 22nd. There's allegedly going to be announcements out of that. Again, make sure to go ahead and fact check me on that. And then May 28th, next week at Bitcoin 2025, JD Vance will be speaking. If you want to go to Bitcoin 2025, you haven't got your tickets, I've got my code. It is pinned in the chat at the top. It would be wonderful if you guys were able to go and use my link. That would definitely help me. You save 10% using code WendyO, but there's going to be an announcement there. So if you want to get that announcement live, make sure to use my link. It supports me, it supports the channel. Let's go ahead and give a quick channel shout out to all of our members. Good morning to Queen. Good morning to Mr. R, to John Legend, to Sky, Mr. Sparkwater, who else, Mr. D, and many, many more. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. Make sure to smash the like. Now, this is what we're seeing happen now. We can go ahead and we can go through shorter term time frames. That's fine all day long. But at the end of the day, realistically, the most important area of support is going to be $102,000 and important area of resistance is going to be about $110,000. So that's what we're seeing happen now. Also, yesterday, we got the highest daily close in history, and we closed at about, let's go ahead and zoom in, we closed at about $106,000. And if you see this previous price action here, this was 106.2, but we closed at 106.7, okay? And then previously over here, 106.2. So we got two 106.2s back in 2024, early 2025, and then now we're doing a little bit better. Also, too, Bitcoin actually flipped Amazon again for the top assets by market cap, and we're getting ready. I think we are a little bit far from Apple, but I think that could potentially happen. That can most definitely happen. But this is this is what we're doing right now. I do think Bitcoin will eventually flip gold one day. Not now, but one day. And of course, Standard Charter says sovereign indirect Bitcoin exposure via MicroStrategy is growing, backing its target to $500,000. Again, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, they've got some crazy targets. But they're basically saying here that government entities increased their holdings of strategy stock during Q1, gaining indirect Bitcoin exposure. Standard Chartered Bank says this trend support its $500,000 price target by 2029. And if we are in fact in a super cycle and we keep going until then, that would be insane. Other forecasts by Standard Chartered, BNB to $2,700, Avalanche to $250, XRP to $1,250, and Ethereum revised down to $4,000 by 2025. Stablecoin market cap to reach $2 trillion by the end of 2028. BNB, Avalanche, and XRP, these targets would also be hit between 2028 and 2029. So hopefully, Ethereum hits 4,000 again. That would be nice. That would be absolutely wonderful because we need to do well, but we'll see what happens there. But again, it's exciting. We hit all-time high. Now, of course, we have to show this tweet by Michael Saylor. If you're not buying Bitcoin at all-time high, you're leaving money on the table. This is the thing. We're going to cover alts in a second. Hold on a second. Bear with me. Michael Saylor is a Bitcoin bull. I get it. I appreciate it, whatever. But if you're going to get mad at influencers for shilling stuff, you should probably be also pissed off at Michael Saylor for, these types of hopium. And again, that's fine. I personally don't mind. But at the same time, this man's company owns so much Bitcoin. It's ridiculous. So he's making money off of Bitcoin. And of course he wants you to buy. I don't really have an issue with it. I think dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin is wonderful, fantastic. Fine. But at the end of the day, you just got to be a little bit careful. Be a little bit careful over here. Now back to our coins. Okay. So when we're taking a look at Ethereum is currently trading at 2,500, and we are going to flip and sustain eventually one day. But right now we're kind of having trouble getting above $2,500. Next area of importance for me would be 2,700. Would be for me to see us actually get above that. Previous price action here, 10/21, 2024 and 9/27, 2024. Now taking a look at Solana. Solana is also kind of down at about 165, testing onto support here. Kind of need a little bit of a reversal in the market. Now SUI popped all the way up to about $4.08, but we're now trading back around $3.89. XRP is really struggling to sustain above the trend line at 229 and flip $2.40. We'll see how that goes. And Chainlink bounced up from 1488 and now trading at 1585. As you notice, a lot of these coins have a little bit of a pullback, a swing wick high, and they've pulled back as Bitcoin's pulled back as well. Cardano is at 75 cents, kind of struggling to break above 77 cents over here. But really overall, this is not too terribly bad, really. I think we will eventually break sooner than some of the other stuff. And HBAR is just kind of chilling in our consolidation range between 18 and 20 cents. Also, Dog was finally listed on Kraken, and I'm super excited. And it pumped to 4374. And y'all know that I'm holding my Dog coin. I'm holding my Dog coin because why wouldn't I? I absolutely love it. Love the community. And of course, I got the airdrop. Now, another thing that I want to mention is that we hit the new all-time high, and we're just kind of chilling and going sideways. So this is good. This is exciting. You guys should be proud of yourself. I hope your portfolios are doing well. Now let's go ahead and get into the next story over here. Where is it? All right. Now let's go ahead and get into we're going to talk about ibit and the ETFs, and then we'll talk about the Genius Act. So Eric B says ibit has worked its way into the top 5 ETFs in year-to-date flows, with $9 billion passing BIL, which is wild because just 1 month ago it was ranked at 47, but since has gone full Pac-Man with 6.5 spare as gold and cash ETFs slip down. The leaderboard is slowly turning back into 2024. So basically he said, just kind of referring to how well Bitcoin is performing compared to all of these other ETFs that are including into gold, into cash. And it's just a kind of indication as to what the market is kind of looking for, which is wonderful. Happy for it. Now, Money will go into Bitcoin from some of these other things. It's going to take time, and then hopefully the money will flow back into crypto. Now, Ethereum. Let's see what's going on. Ethereum DEX trader activity surges 73% this month, led by Uniswap's continued dominance. So the article says, despite the rise in users, monthly DEX volume remains flat at 15 billion, with Uniswap capturing 97% of traders, highlighting both its dominance and relatively small size of traders driving the uptick. So basically what they're saying here is some people look like they are moving back to Ethereum from Solana. I don't know about that. I don't know. But it says daily DEX users on Ethereum rose 64,000 this month. Current levels at 3-month high. Interesting. Let's hope that Ethereum makes Ethereum makes a little bit of progress here. And maybe this could be because of RWAs and everything that's utilizing Ethereum's technology. We don't know. Also, make sure to smash the like. Now, Solana could soon witness its largest consensus change as developer proposes Alpenglow. So I believe that Solana's accelerator conference is happening right now in New York, and they're dropping some updates. So they're planning an upgrade with a new consensus system that aims for near instant finality and better performance, could improve real-time apps, finance, gaming, social, expected to increase SOL demand on chain activity, and no official launch date yet. So we don't have the launch date, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's incredibly awesome to hear that they're continuing to scale Solana. It's still a really great layer one. They've been working on all the issues that it's been happening, and they understand how massive Solana is for the entire crypto ecosystem and even Web 2. So they're working on improving the apps and the dApps and everything that's going on, which I think is great. I like to watch them kind of fix things over time because they're doing a bit better than Ethereum Foundation. Now, the SEC unfortunately delays decision on XRP and Dogecoin ETFs. Agency opens formal review for both 21 shares and Grayscale spot ETF proposals. And Mr. James says he's predicting no approvals before Q3. And you know what? I'm going to have to agree with him. I'm going to have to agree with James here because James is the gentleman that discusses all the different ETF news, etc. So I'm going to agree with him here. I mean, we've heard that we're going to get spot ETFs. Spot ETFs are different than the future ones. But I've heard that, we've talked about on the show to get ETF updated or approved by July to October. So it does make a little bit more sense. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So Q4 seems about right, but we'll see. We'll see there. Oh, if you want a short, you could use my ref link on Femex. I get ref money for that. It's down below. Thank you. Now, with that being said, we'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens. I hope it gets approved, but sooner than that. But I'm going to agree with him. I'm going to have a little bit more conservative approach here. Now, Robinhood, what's going on? Robinhood is acquiring Bitstamp, which is building a perp DEX on XRP Ledger. So Robinhood submits SEC proposal to regulate tokenized real RWAs, aiming to bring Wall Street on-chain and unlock 30 trillion market cap. The fact that Robinhood is acquiring Bitstamp, which is building a perp DEX on XRP Ledger, is crazy. Bitstamp is one of the oldest crypto exchanges, one of the absolute oldest crypto exchanges, I think, in crypto, which is crazy. That's awesome. Really, really, really cool. So that's going to be big for XRP and that ecosystem. I didn't know. Sorry, I didn't have a lot of time to go over this brief in the morning. That's awesome. So shout out to the XRP army. That's going to be really cool. And XRPL is the decentralized faction of Ripple and XRP. Now, let's go ahead and get into so we got some bad news that the XRP spot ETF is delayed, but we got some good news that Robinhood is acquiring Bitstamp, which is building the perp DEX on XRPL. Now, talk about the Genius Act. Let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit, okay? So, agreed in 69-31 vote now on the amendment process. So this is what's going on with the Genius Act. If you don't know what the Genius Act is, it's basically regulation regarding stablecoins, KYC, AML, which entities could launch one, how it needs to be backed, and retail will not get access to yield on stablecoins, which defeats the entire purpose. But again, no one seems to care about it. Whatever. So Eleanor, Miss Ellie, she says that that now today's vote passed. The given 66-32 passage cloture on Monday, the amendment process will begin. And so we're going to get some more information on the what is it called? On the Genius Act. I think they're set to debate now. I think that's what's happening. And then after they kind of debate the bill, there'll be a final vote. which is pretty cool. So we'll see what happens there. And then we've got this story over here. So this is from the block. Stablecoin bill could pave the way for multi-year crypto bull market, Bitwise CIO says. This is from Mr. Matt Juan, I don't know. Aside from the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, it marks the most significant regulatory milestone in crypto history. And this is what he argued. He also says that he sees Ethereum, Solana, and DeFi assets like Uniswap and Aave top beneficiaries. Yes, DeFi and stablecoins go together very well. The only thing I am going to argue with him about, it is a massive regulatory approval, like a milestone. It is. But at the same time, crypto is created for the people by the people. Is supposed to be it was supposed to be used or supposed to be created so everybody can have a piece, everybody can use it. But we're not seeing that happen now, and that's problematic because if retail doesn't get access to the yield and the stable coins, then what the hell are we doing? So retail is not going to be able to get the same access or the same yield and other, remember I said traditional financial instruments, we're not going to get access to those same products that accredited investors get. Go ahead and look it up. It is, but accredited investor is wrong as well. The Accredited Investor Act is wrong too, but it's what it is. So if you don't like it, write to the SEC and tell them. I've been screaming on the internet. Now, French bank giant to launch the world's first bank-issued dollar stablecoin on Ethereum. Shout out to the French. I should go there and get a croissant. I actually want to go to France. And they found Jim Morris's headstone, which is pretty cool too. So that's cool. That just adds more money going to Ethereum to help that ecosystem. Give me my 10,000 Ethereum so I can get rid of it. All right. And I know a lot of you guys had seen this on X, but apparently the mayor of New York, Adams, announces the launch of a crypto advisory council at the NYC Crypto Summit. Let's go ahead and take a little listen here. There's quite a few people I know that went to the Crypto Summit. One person reached out to me to go, but I declined, or I didn't even respond to them because sometimes I do that. But smash the like, smash the like, smash the like. All right, let's see what Mr. Mayor Adams has to say. You guys, you know how we do it here. 2 times speed.
So this is our announcement that we will be creating a digital asset advisory council to bring fintech jobs and investment right here to the Big Apple. And we're going to ask the rank and file to come from among you to help us say to government, get out of the way, allow it to grow and prosper by going to those who have been in this field for many years. In a few weeks, we'll be announcing the chair of this council and with key policy recommendations to help ensure that we use this technology in the right way. This is not about chasing memes or trends. We want to use the technology of tomorrow to better serve New Yorkers today. We have experts right here, and they are going to help us navigate solutions that serve our city. We are lucky to have this type of human capital right here in the city of New York. You've been hiding in the shadows, afraid to come out during the day. Come out now. You can prosper in this great city.
Okay, so this is the thing. New York is the hardest state to do anything crypto-wise. So I think it's a little... There's some things here. There's going to need to be a lot of changes that make me trust this guy. Yep, the doors. We love Mr. Jim Morrison in this house. Okay, so they're going to have to, you can't use a lot of the crypto apps or services there in New York for some really, really weird reason, which is super annoying. So that's going to need to get fixed because that's predatory because the average New Yorker doesn't have the same privileges that the rest of us have in other states. Okay, so that's going to need to get fixed. The only thing that worries me about this is I think it's bullish. I'm excited because Gavin Newsom from California could literally never do anything positive for any of us in California. I'm sorry. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. He is evil. He is absolutely terrible. He has done nothing to help anyone in California, any taxpayer in California. He has not. I digress. And again, California used to be the tech capital of the world, but under his rule, unfortunately, we have declined as well as all the other red tape regulation. But anyways, only thing that makes me a little bit cautious about this is because all the stuff that happened with Miami. Miami was supposed to be the crypto capital of the U.S., yada, yada. And they launched a coin, all kinds of stuff. So just as long as they don't launch a coin and they're making progress, cool. But they're going to kind of have to follow Bukele's lead in El Salvador. And I wonder who's advising them because that scares me as well. Now, next on the docket over here. I'm dropping a video for you guys about Coinbase later with some more details, but 69,461 users were impacted in December 2024 from this data heist. So Tons of fun, right? Also, too, Javier Milei, from you guys remember the Libra scam? Well, that got shut down. His people were like, you know what? No, we're not going to do any more investigation into this. That's generally corruption because that thing was an absolute hot mess. But anyways, yeah, they went ahead and shut down the Libra meme coin investigation. But apparently it's not over yet. Libra meme coin surged to 4.5 billion after Milei promoted it, then crashed 97% in a few hours. That's a recap. Over 100 million in alleged insider profits. And the latest, Millei's government disbanded the task force investigating the scandal, but judge continues criminal investigation into Milei. Which to me, it makes no sense. You can't do both, make those both happen at the same time. But again, Now, I really want to talk a little bit about Microsoft, because Microsoft is actually adding blockchain data to Fabric through space and time integration. This is a little bit complicated. We didn't get a chance to cover it yesterday, but I got time, so I'm going to read it to you. And this is important. So, Microsoft Fabric integrated its first Web3 data provider, Space and Time. Fabric is an analytics platform that consolidates data lifecycle processes from ingestion and storage to analyze and visualize. Devs can now access real-time blockchain data for Bitcoin, Ethereum, SUI, and more via Azure OneLake. OneLake allows users to store data and do all types of processing and analytics across platform languages. Space and Time uses a ZK, a decentralized validator network, for verifiable index data, and integration aims to serve devs, enterprises, and large banks with on-chain insights. So we're getting blockchain integrated into Microsoft. I'm really tired today, you guys. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I didn't lift it all last week and I'm lifting now and I'm tired. So I'm going to get going because I actually have a lot of calls today that I've got to take care of. So I'm going to get going, but I got a video for you coming at 2 p.m. PT about Coinbase, going into more details what's happening in the DOJ investigation. So make sure you guys stick around for that. If anything breaks with the Genius Act, I will post it for you as a short. So make sure to have alerts set. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and of course,